Hi, I am Tatianna Tarot, and I'm going to show you how to conjure an okra bath. So with okra baths, they're traditionally used in the Ifa spiritual practice that stems from the Yoruban tribe in Nigeria, or Hoodoo practitioners also use it as well. And the purpose of doing an okra bath, for a couple of reasons. They're really great. So okra baths can be used to remove any negativity that you feel that you've accumulated through, your day-to-day life. So that could be through your interactions at work, through a lot of stress that you've accumulated. Heavy spiritual practitioners use it to eliminate toxicity, like mal de ojo, evil eye, maybe even hexes and spells that people throw at you. That's another end of the spectrum. When I am suggesting this bath to my clients, it's usually the case that they're encountering some sort of blockage. They feel very lethargic, they feel unmotivated, there's heavy weight on them energetically. And so the okra is, your everyday vegetable that you can find easily in your supermarket as long as it's in season, and you can incorporate the spiritual properties of this vegetable to eliminate the bad vibes that you have on you. So I'm going to show you a step-by-step way, really easily, for you to use this in the luxury of your own home. It is not one of those traditional baths that is like, you have a lot of beautiful scents going on, and it's, you're soaking in it and you're feeling good. Okra baths are a little messy. They're not labor intensive, but very gooey. It can be uncomfortable putting it on you. You're gonna get soaked, your hair is gonna get soaked. So if you are allergic to okra, if you're opposing getting dirty and getting messy, of course this is going to be taking place in your shower, in your bathtub, then I suggest that you look for an alternative cleanse. However, this is super effective for all the reasons that I've just listed. It can be used anytime that you want. I usually do it once a month for me, my husband. You could do it on your children, or as many times as needed. So what you're going to need for your okra bath are 2 bowls. This one is filled with water. So for your first bowl, you want to make sure you have more than enough water to consume your whole body in the shower, okay? In your next bowl, you're going to have okra. So in here are about 20 pods of okra. That's all that you need. If you have more, that's great. If you have less, I'm going about a traditional route that I've learned that was passed on to me from my babalao and other practitioners. I usually use 20. This one specifically is 22. 20 range is great. Now, if you want to add different things to your bath that are not necessarily required, but are great additives energetically to heighten up your bath and add that little juju to it, you're certainly going to need Florida water, which is a spiritual tool. Again, it heightens vibration. It is known traditionally to add positive spirits into the mix, or to remove negative energy. So it's kind of like liquid sage with an extra dose of spiritual power. You're certainly going to need 2 white candles, okay, and an oil of your choice. So before you're actually taking any steps to performing the bath and using it, you want to make sure that you have some light clothes set aside. And the light clothes are very important for you to wear after you take your bath, because it's bringing forth positive energy, it's bringing forth light entities. So if you wear something like dark clothing, that's just attracting darker, lower vibrational forces. You might feel tired again, and you want to work with the forces of the bath so that it's most effective. So anything that's like pastels, ideally white, light colors, yellow, pink, orange, red is even acceptable. You want to put those on. Now, bear in mind, because that is a factor, most people tend to perform these baths in the luxury of their home during the nighttime, when you don't have to go to work. Let's say you have to wear a uniform that's like blue and black, or you're a bartender, you gotta wear all black. So that can intercept the work that you're doing. So doing it in the evening gives you enough time to plan everything out, and then you can wear white, going to bed, a pajama, what have you, and then you could just sleep with those good vibes and let it marinate throughout your body. So there is no right or wrong time to do this throughout the day, but just bear in mind that the clothing is a factor. So now, putting the actual bath together. When I am using and preparing an okra bath, it's very important that you incorporate the power of intention and you feed the spirit of every element that you're using in your bath. You're invoking the energy to help you in your intention for the bath. So you're gonna need a knife, of course, and you're gonna take your okra pods, and this might take some time, but you're going to start cutting it off with a knife, and you're gonna put it into your bowl here. And as you're cutting the okra pods, like this is a very sharp knife that I decided to choose for today, not a smart move. Careful with yourself, okay? So as you're cutting the okra pods, you wanna break them down into small pieces, really small pieces, and you're going to start with a prayer. Now, that's contingent on whatever spiritual entities or energies you most resonate with, whether that be your higher self, whether that be a particular deity, whether it be a particular prayer you use from a specific practice. For this sake of showing you how to work with general energies, we're going to call on a prayer on our higher self and our ancestors. So normally I would start by saying, for the highest good of all involved spirit, I ask that you please consume me and bring forth the energies of my ancestors, the Orishas, the Loas that work with me, the archangels, the ascended masters, and any light being entities that can best assist me and join me in this spiritual work today. Ancestors, higher self, I ask that you please energize this bath. I ask that you bless it up. I ask that you bring forth clarity, wisdom, passion, confidence, protection, knowledge of self. I ask that you steer me away from all energies that are negative or low density energies in all time, space, and dimensions. I ask that you assist me in clearing out these energies and bringing forth prosperity, lightness, abundance into my life, happiness, success. May I thrive in all ways. May I accomplish my goals with ease. May every opportunity I meet allow me to succeed and allow others to succeed. May I have the courage to overcome any obstacles my way. And I thank you, Spirit, for joining me. I thank you, ancestors, Mafererefum, Oshun. I thank you for the sweetness you are adding into my life. I thank you for clearing out any emotional pain and trauma I'm carrying. Please help me in accomplishing all my goals, all my dreams, and help me to help others to do the same. Eliminate obstacles from my path. Ache. So that is just a general prayer that I just conjured up in my brain, but more or less my prayers follow that same lead. I'm an Ifa practitioner, so we also have more specific prayers that go along with this bath, but I know for the most part, I'm trying to simplify that. Anything that comes from your heart and is spoken with conviction and intent is still valid. So don't be afraid to call upon the forces you most resonate with, anything that you align with, as you're cutting every okra pod, this might be a little time labor intensive, time consuming, but know that everything has intention, everything carries energy. So as you're cutting, whether or not you want to vocalize your prayer or say it silently, you're feeding that vibration into your bath. And you know that the spirits are assisting you along. And there is no right or wrong way to perform an okra bath. So as you're saying the prayer before or after, if you're feeling a particular intuitive prompting to add something into your bath, go ahead and get that ingredient, whether it's specific oils, whether or there are different additives, whether you want to light another candle. What I like to do is I normally like to give an offering to my ancestors before I start doing this work, because they're really the backbone force of making it happen. So you could go ahead and do that, whatever calls to you. But again, like I said, it's not absolutely necessary. So it's important that you break this down to the smallest parts, if possible, and you just add it onto this never-ending bowl of okra. And so you're gonna see in the bowl, if you take a close look here, the water's rising, but also you've got this kind of gooey consistency that's coming out of the okra. That's our special factor. That gooey consistency is the spiritual property that is trapping the negative entities, the negative energies, the lower vibrations. It's trapping all of that, and it's kind of like a spider web. All the goo, the negative energy is sticking to the goo, and so when you're in the shower, it's going to go down the drain with the goo. So that's our sweet stuff, but that's also the stuff that people are like, oh, I don't want to put that over my head, or I don't want to get messy. But trust, the real baths, the real spiritual baths are really kind of like, you're going to be like, oh God, I don't want to freaking bathe in freezing water with all this crap on top of my head. But they're the most effective, okay? Not to say that the nice, sweet smelling baths with flowers are not effective, but this is like old school tradition, grandma, great grandma passed along, you know, hoodoo, deep down in the South, what you be using in your kitchen because it's the real deal type shit. So I'm down to my last couple okras, and I am just going to do this a little bit faster. But I also wanted to tap into the oil that I had mentioned for you to bring out. So yes, the okra bath is being catered to eliminating these energies, eliminating lack of clarity and lethargy. But as you notice in my prayer, I added other things to my request. I added prosperity and abundance in my business, in myself. I added that other people that I encounter who are for the highest good of all involved also be blessed. I added, you know, etc., etc. You can add family members. You can add other specific intentions and desires. And so with your oil, you want to make sure that it is an oil that you're going to put on after the bath that is going to capture your intent and prayer. So some people like to use a protection oil to just like solidify the work they've just done with the bath. Some people like to do abundance or love, or like High John the Conqueror. They want to conquer things in life, obstacles and challenges. Road opener to open up the opportunities that they have not seen and unseen, to allow them to thrive with ease. Again, I like to word things for the highest good of all involved, because you want to make sure that the energies and the spirits that you're working with are working in tandem with light energy, light vibration, that they're not incorporating any other agendas that you did not think about that may not be for your highest good or for anybody else's highest good. So that way you are covering all bases, and you got to sweat like, oh my God, somebody got to be sacrificed when I do this. No. You don't got to worry about that. So finishing up here with our okra pods. Tricky. I'm trying not to cut myself. I am cutting with ease. I am a pro at this. So many baths I've done. In fact, I'm really happy that I'm doing this now because I am long overdue for an okra bath. Okay, so that's done. Now is the fun part. Now you're going to visualize, and this is again something that you don't have to do, but the more intention and energy that you feed into your bath, the stronger it will be. So you're gonna take your hands, remove all jewelry if you don't want it to get messy, but okra is really good to wash off, so it's easy. And you're gonna start squeezing the pods into the water, getting all that gushy stuff, and being mindful of your intention. Like I said before, it's not necessary if you want to say your prayers and feed your bath with energy silently. So some people don't have the luxury of saying what they want to say out loud because there's family members or there's people interfering. But there is something special about speaking things into existence. May this bath allow me to become a better person so that my loved ones will thrive around me. May my business thrive for the highest good of all involved. May my health thrive. May I attract the most perfect opportunities for me to grow in all ways. May I travel with protection. May I be protected from all corners, all time, space, and dimensions. May there be more love and passion in my life. May there be more happiness and laughter. May I be able to continue to touch lives in ways that you see fit, Spirit. May you come clearly down into me so that I can heed your wisdom and knowledge. May I always be learning. May I help my people in ways that you want me to serve, Spirit. And I thank you so much for your presence, my ancestors, the Orishas, the Loas. I thank you so much. I pray for your peace. Bring me financial prosperity as soon as possible. Ashe. May it sustain itself. Ashe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ashe. Whatever, have fun with it, but speak it into existence. Speak life into it. Visualize that white light energy going from the top of your head, extending beyond earth, beyond the heavens, to an infinite point in space, going down into the center of your crown chakra, down through your head, down through your neck and your shoulders, into your arms and your hands, where you're fusing that white light energy into your bath. Protection, abundance, prosperity, ashe, happiness, and wisdom every day. You see, now I'm turning into one of them craft bitches and rhyming, but you don't have to do all that. You really want to make sure you get to the nitty gritty and squeeze all of that stuff out. The more you have, the better it is, the more it can do its work, okay? And so I could be here for days doing all of this, right? And I think it's really special if you are a parent and you want to do the work. You want your child to help you do the work. You guys can share the bath. You can have your child break this with their hands. They really like getting into the messy work. So more energy, more power, more prosperity for you all. So at this point, you got that goo and you want to wait. Washing my hands. You want to wait for this to marinate for some time. Give it anywhere from 30 minutes to a day. You know, you can light a specific candle for whatever you gravitate to, an ancestor candle, and put it aside for your ancestors to bless up. You can put this on your altar if it's a full moon, new moon, as long as the correspondences of that moon is conducive to giving you the results that you want. You can put it outside for the moonlight to hit. You can put it outside for the sunlight to hit. Really follow your intuition and your gut with this. But you're gonna let it marinate because it has to build up ache. It has to build up spiritual power. I'm gonna add Florida water, which I should have done before I washed my hands. And a more important factor that is not always needed, but it would be helpful to have, is your strainer. I didn't mention that. You need a strainer, right? So fast forward to this being 30 minutes from now to an hour. When you feel that your bath is ready, you're going to take that bowl. Let me just do it here. You're going to take that strainer and you're going to pour it over the strainer so that the bowl captures the goo and the water, okay? And you're gonna keep on mixing it and mushing it. Please don't eat this. A lot of people ask me, oh, can I eat the okra afterwards? No, so don't eat the okra afterwards, boo-boo. Just cook yourself some side okra. Anyway, and it's still not the same effect as you freaking eating okra. So some people are like, I don't really want to get messy. Can I just eat okra instead? And it's like, no. Don't disrespect the ancestors. You gotta do these particular steps. So we pretty much have all the goo out. I know there's a lot, so don't go crazy trying to get it all. You can try your best. If you want, you can add more water and see if that water is gonna help strain out more goo. Okay, fun stuff. So all of this green stuff, you don't need anymore. You can say sayonara, green stuff. Thank you for helping me. Thank you, ancestors. Because it is a tool that you've used in invoking the spirits and invoking the energies that you need. You can feel free to bury it in your backyard. You can feel free to throw it in the river as an offering. I know a lot of us don't have the luxury of going to the river. You can throw it in the crossroads. Or if you have to absolutely just use the garbage disposal, throw it away. But give thanks as you're doing it. Know that the intention is just to have gratitude for the work that the spirits have done. So you got your bath, right? Bam. Okay, it's ready. Now you're ready to go to your bathroom, your shower. Before you do that, you want to make sure you get a lighter. You have your oil ready. If you want, you can still have your Florida water. You got your light clothing aside. And you got your 2 white candles. So, as you're entering your bathtub or your shower, the 2 corners of your tub and the shower, you're going to place 1 candle in each corner. So that it's going to create a light threshold is the concept, right? White is the properties of white candles bring forth the energy of spirit, divine energy, cleansing, positivity, light, clarity, cooling of the head, wisdom, etc., etc. So as you're entering the shower and this being lit, carry your bath with you. That whole energetic process of you passing these lit candles is kind of like you're passing this invisible wall of light that's already cleansing you and preparing the initiation of the bath. You want to get all this gooey stuff, pour it on top of your head so it's filling your whole body. You want to make sure that your mouth is closed, but you're putting it all over your ears, your breasts, what have you, etc., around your booty, your poom poom, etc., your feet. You want to make sure everything is covered because it's trapping all that energy. You don't want an ounce of your body exposed. Underarms too. Don't open up your crack if you don't need to, but you know areas that you should be putting it on. And make sure that you're showering it all off. As you're doing that process, you can give thanks again. You can visualize the energy of the shower cleansing your body with white light, removing toxicity, removing the things that you don't want, and allowing that okra bath to be drained completely into the system, the sewer system, or what have you. You want to make sure that every area of your tub has been cleared out of the okra bath, that you don't have anything on you because that's still remnants of the stale energy that it has trapped. As you're exiting the bath, you're exiting this white light again, solidifying the system. you're drying yourself up, and you're using your oil. Now this particular oil is the eighth house oil from my homegirl, that Afro Mystic. The Afro Mystic, you can get it on her website. A phenomenal oil for sex workers, light workers, conjurers, just people who are really working to bring in big money, big effects, big abundance, big stuff, right? And so you want to use any oil, but this is what I'm using for this particular bath. And speak things into existence. Speak what properties you want the oils to give you, what effects. Speak it with conviction, speak it with power. Dab it on. Dab it at your chakra points, if you will. And put some Florida water. Plop, plop, plop. Put your clothes on, and you're good to go. I'm dropping everything. You're good to go. So that bath, like I mentioned before, is going to leave you refreshed. It's going to leave you feeling like, oh, I'm a new person. I'm a newborn. My energy is started over. I've cleansed things. You can use it as frequently as possible during the new moon cycles, the full moon cycles, during your birthday, when you're just feeling conflicted, you're confused, when you're feeling like, ugh, that person's talking crap about me. I gotta use this to swipe it away. It allows you to slide out of sticky situations. You can think about it like that. So I hope this helps you. I can't wait for you to experience the magic in your lives. Thanks for joining me. Ashe.